We're doing murder. It's murder time. How a cop shot his wife in the head and got away with it.
This is
Murder's back on the menu. Let's do it. We're doing it. We're fucking doing it. We're doing the damn thing. That's right, baby. We're doing the damn motherfucking thing, dude. Yeah. It's time. And then we're going to do Okay Buddy Hasan meme review. Shit. Happy holidays, everybody. Will you please wait for 5 minutes? I have to poop. Bitch, watch from your fucking phone. What do you mean? I don't understand. Pull up your fucking phone, okay, on the Twitch application and watch from your fucking phone.
This is Will Sanders, and in this clip, he's speaking to Griffin, Georgia investigators about a bag. Not just any bag, but a bag that belonged to Jessica Boynton and was stuffed full of dozens of her personal items. But what makes this bag so important is the events preceding to its disappearance. Let's go back in time to about 2015. Jessica Boynton, then Jessica Lester, and Matthew Boynton began dating when they were teenagers and still in high school in Georgia. Matthew was well known, involved in sports, and the grandson of the county sheriff. Jessica's youth was much less glamorous. She was abandoned at the age of 3 and raised by her grandparents. Jessica fell in love quickly, seeing Matthew as her savior from an otherwise tragic life, and Matthew was quick to take advantage of the situation.
Oh, God.
Jessica became pregnant at just 16 years old, and with her grandparents' blessing, Matthew and Jessica moved into an apartment. Almost as soon as the ink dried on their new apartment lease, Matthew shifted from being a dream come true to a real-life nightmare. He became overbearing and controlling, cutting off her contact with her family. He would have sole access to all credit and debit cards, and would even take the keys to their truck while working in a patrol vehicle. Jessica was a prisoner in her own home, and seeking to regain some control over her life, Jessica had an affair which resulted in another pregnancy. Matt would, uncharacteristically, raise the child as his own, and they would even get married only some months later. Much more characteristically, Matthew began his own affair less than 6 months after getting married, which Matthew made no attempt at hiding. The relationship would disintegrate quickly, and Jessica would ask Matthew for a divorce. Sometime later, the couple got into an argument at a nearby Walmart and returned home. About 30 minutes later, gunshots were heard. A neighbor went to the window where she saw Matthew quickly get in his truck and leave the house. Matthew met with another officer at a local Waffle House, and during that time he received a message from Jessica where she seemingly told Matthew her intent to end her own life. Matthew sent a text to his mistress and then called for emergency services while rushing home. Jessica was found in a closet with multiple gunshot wounds to her head. The event was first labeled as suicide, but defying all odds, Jessica miraculously survived.
Yep. Rule number 1. What did we learn from the Tory Lanez case? Okay. You shoot someone, you best hope that you fucking finish the job. Because guess what? When you shoot someone and they survive, you're fucked. Also, as a cop, he should have definitely known that, because that's why they fucking unload their entire ammo into the unsuspecting and oftentimes unarmed victims of police brutality. But it's always the same shit. Yep, dead men tell no tales. That's how it works. You got a mag dump.
It was a short investigation filled to the brim with inconsistencies and obvious cover-ups, which would ultimately result in Matthew walking away from the incident scot-free, and with Jessica losing custody of her children. The case seemed to be closed, and life moved on, except that Matthew would get involved with another woman sometime later who discovered a bag of Jessica's belongings. The exact same belongings that Matthew said he was no longer in possession of in a sworn statement. Griffin investigators needed to speak to Matthew again. The house of cards that had been built over the years were coming down now. This is the interrogation of Matthew Boynton.
I'm a bit confused. Did he shoot his wife in the head, made it look like a suicide, and successfully got away until later when they found her clothing? What fucking court system was like, oh, well, you know, you lost the custody of your children now because you almost died. Okay, right off the bat, he's already in fucking uniform. You already know things are not going to go well, okay? And by that, I mean things are not going to go well for the slant of justice. Because when you're a thumb and you're having a conversation with other thumbs, you know that, you know, they are going to be a little bit favorable towards him, especially as it pertains to domestic violence, which is kind of a thing that cops like doing. If you don't believe me, just Google 40% cops, okay? Also, his granddad was the sheriff. So, you know, things are not going to... There is no slant towards justice in this story, it seems.
All right, Matthew, I'm just going to start off by letting you know that I am not conducting an internal investigation on you, okay? So Garrity is not implied. Okay, I want you to understand that.
What?
Okay. All right, Garrity does not apply to this incident, okay?
Can you fully explain what that? I understand part of it, just...
She's gonna read you Miranda.
Okay.
So I just want to let you know that I'm not conducting. I know I do IAs, but this is not an IA. This is in reference to a criminal investigation. Okay.
Okay. What's that in reference to?
It's in reference to, you remember the statement you wrote me about Jessica saying you took items from the house?
Yeah, that computer. Yeah.
That's what it's going to be in reference to.
Okay.
Nepotism is the practice among those with power or influence of favoring relatives or friends, especially by giving them jobs. Nepotism runs deep within the Griffin Police Department. The detective starts out immediately by letting Boynton know that this is not related to any internal affair or IA investigation. As we will see, Griffin police are fast to protect their own, and sometimes even at the cost of a thorough investigation. Remember, Boynton is the grandson of the sheriff. The ethics of this interrogation should be immediately called into question, but simultaneously should be of no...
Did you say all these people look 25 at most? You think this person is 25 years old? Like, you saw that person and you were like, that's definitely a 25-year-old for sure. What the fuck?
surprise to any outsider.
If you want to talk to us, just sign right there. Alright. So Jessica came in, she filed a report.
Okay.
I talked to you about it. You wrote a statement saying you didn't have any of her items.
Right.
The report specifically said her retainer and stuff like that, and her clothes.
Okay.
Do you know anything about where her clothes or retainer may have been?
Like I told her before, the only thing that we might have had would have been in that white trailer, and my stepdad has not mentioned anything else being in there. And we gave everything back that we had, because she had put some stuff in like a, it's like a little foot chase thing.
Mm-hmm.
You open it up, it's got two little boxes. I think we used to use it for like diapers and stuff now, but I mean, everything that she had that I knew of was gone. I got rid of everything I knew of.
You got rid of a house, so.
To either give back to her or her family came back and got it. You know, like she had a big kitchen table and some other stuff that her Aunt Kathy and Uncle Tim had come and got. Just different. I think my stepdad actually took a whole bunch of stuff over to her grandparents' house at 2464 East Milner in Pike, which is like right by my parents' house.
Okay. So when did you move to Lumay Road?
That would be sometime in March.
March.
Mm-hmm.
Through the course of that move, did you find anything that belonged to her at that point?
No, because if I would have, I would have turned it over to her, because I have no need to keep her stuff.
Before this interview took place, Will Sanders had already given the police the answers that they needed. Remember, Sanders turned in Jessica's belongings, which were found by Matthew's current girlfriend in his own storage area. Investigators asked Boynton about her computer and some other items. Boynton sticks to his story that he never had them. He digs his heels into his lie and goes all in.
The only thing I had at that point was that computer, and me and you had talked about that and gave it back to her. Because she came over here and talked to Bird.
Okay. So,
Detective is
You
Max
recognize that bag?
from Always Sunny in Philly.
Yes, the
Jesus
bag that Jessica let me use to put all my gym stuff in when we used to be together.
Okay. So when's the last time you saw that bag?
It's been a long time. Like I said, when I used to work out at there's 2 gyms in Thomaston. I don't remember the name of it. I used that one, and I had a gray Nike bag I used to work out in. So I interchanged my stuff like protein drink.
Bro, she coughed immediately after the Max Mom reference. That's crazy.
Powder shakes like pre-workout, workout shorts, pants.
What the cop is engaging here is a common technique that liars do all the time called over-explaining. In order to run out the clock, this imaginary clock that somehow will, allow him to get away scot-free, is oftentimes run with unnecessary details that he can remember.
Shoes, whatever, I'd put it in that bag or my Nike bag.
Matthew confirms that, yes, the bag is familiar to him. He references it as something that Jessica used and may have been used as a gym bag, but he hasn't known of its whereabouts in a long time. It could have been in a storage shed, he says, obviously still unaware that his lies that he's propped up over the years have been dismantled well before this interview began. Take note that Matthew's demeanor has not wavered since the beginning. He has remained with his arms in front of him, relaxed, with his fingers intertwined. Soon we will see a drastic shift in his posture as he realizes that he's been caught not just in a lie, but a lie that will completely change his life.
So when's the last time you saw that bag?
I mean, it's been a while. I don't know the exact date. I don't know. I think my stepdad, he had it in the white trailer, and that's been a while. And he brought it, but I haven't been through it or anything. He put it in my storage thing in my house, which is like when you pull in the driveway. Mm-hmm. It's a little storage thing on the right. You open the door and it's got all my stuff in there. I had to clean some of it out recently. That was tossed in there, but I mean, it's in there with a bunch of my stuff, like a brown tub I used to keep in my old patrol car with gym stuff in it and work stuff.
Would that be the utility room or carport room at your new house?
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I keep, I keep stuff in that, and I keep stuff in,
Bro, I'm sorry, when is the last time this cop actually caught someone? What happens when a suspect is running away from her? I can't get over this. She's having a hard time literally having a normal one-on-one conversation. I can hear her breathe, dude. She's IA, chill poppy. That's true. They do internal affairs. All right, that's right. Yes. She is she. Yes, she is. That's why Chad says she's like Mac's mom from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Also, IA isn't exactly good either. She might be ultimately the good person in this story, because not only is the person that she's sitting across from a cop, but also one that is, one that has shot his former wife.
Was considered an office and left the back of my house. Mm-hmm. So I just tossed it there for the rest of my job. But it's just an old gym bag.
All right, Matthew. Look.
Uh-oh.
Let's see,
You say she's bi-sitting? Stop.
Known you a long time.
Yes, sir.
This bag, you saw it moving when you moved from your apartment to the main road.
I didn't know.
And your stepdad and Wendell saw it. And another female saw it. All right.
Okay.
At the house, in the apartments. Yes or no? When you moved from the apartment.
When I moved, like I said, I had all my stuff in the white trailer.
Matthew, that's not what I'm asking you. When y'all were in the process of moving, and you moved into the house that you're at now, your residence, did you or did you not see this bag?
Yes, sir. It was in my storage room in the garage.
All right. Now, why would I be holding a picture of this bag?
I guess because Jessica brought it into you.
Why would Jessica have it if you had it at your house?
I don't know. I guess somebody got it from my garage or my shed.
Who would have got it?
There's a couple of people.
Okay.
I don't know
All right.
exactly who.
Detective Hayes is having a difficult time confronting Boynton about the facts at hand. He is reluctant to tell Boynton that he knows his story isn't true, but his obvious frustration with the matter gives Boynton a clue that his story isn't carrying the weight that he needs it to. Hayes gives Boynton another chance to tell the truth. If he's seen the bag in his new house, which Boynton confirms, yes, it was in the white trailer. They ask how it could have came back up, how someone could have gotten to it to either place it or take it, and Boynton resorts to an excuse that law enforcement is no stranger to. Someone else must have done it.
Okay. And inside that bag, there were numerous contents inside of it. And one of those is this right here. You know what this is?
I don't necessarily understand like how this is like a big criminal charge for what like it almost feels like, maybe I'm misunderstanding it, but like it almost feels like that bag could have just like he could have like accidentally kept it in his storage shed or something full of like his ex-wife's clothes or whatever, and then like didn't realize that he had it or something, you know what I mean? So I don't know how this like pertains to I'm letting him cook, but I just want to understand how this ties back to like him actually shooting her.
It's like Jessica's old retainer thing that she had them wear together.
Right. The bag was completely filled with female clothes. And this is one photo of it. That's not yours.
No, not.
All right?
No, sir.
Okay. That's not yours.
No, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who did that belong to?
This got Jessica's name on it, so it'd be Jessica's retainer thing.
If it was in this right here, where would that have been at?
I had all of her stuff in it.
What would it have been at?
It would have been in my garage thing, like I said,
Which is where?
which is at my house.
Which is at your house.
Yes, sir.
Did you buy that for Jessica?
I don't recall. I don't think I did.
Because she
I
had
think her grandparents did.
because she had retainers before she met you, right? Before y'all got married, right?
I believe so.
So that would make it whose property?
Hers.
Not yours, right?
Right. Yes, sir.
They're like, hey, I know you might have like shot your wife in the head, but also, did you know property theft, including old retainers, is a crime? That's right. Fuck the other thing, but like, that's what it feels like right now. I'm sure it's gonna get to that, but
Whose bag is that?
Jessica's.
And the contents in the bag?
And it's got all her stuff in it.
So why would you not have brought that to us when you saw the bag at moving?
Sarge, I promise I've not been through that bag. The last time I used that
Matthew,
bag
I
was for the
didn't
gym.
ask you that, Matthew. Listen to me, buddy. Whose bag is this?
I understand what you're saying. It's Jessica's. I should have brought it up here.
You know,
Makes
all things, and I don't know anything about your other issue, but all the things involved in reference to this case, all the going around, the statement that you wrote, where's the statement at? The statement that you wrote. You said a statement. I didn't read it. I don't know what the statement said. What did it say?
It's just very brief. I gave Jessica her property like I gave her a computer and everything.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Whose is this bag?
It's Jessica's. I didn't think about it because I used it as a gym bag and she let me use it. I understand what you're saying.
Detective Hayes points out that, per Matthew's own words, it was a bag that, as far as Matthew can recall, was relegated to gym duty. But if it was a gym bag that Matthew used, there was no way that the bag would be filled with Jessica's personal items and clothing. Boynton's demeanor shifts from fingers intertwined in front of him, a stature of certainty and authority, to lowering his hands towards his legs. This is indicative of lowering his defenses, or more specifically in this case, his immediate defenses being overpowered. Boynton knows that he's in trouble. Big trouble. But is hoping something or someone can still keep this under wraps.
Matthew, a police officer.
Yes, sir. I understand.
You're a police officer, Matthew. You know we are held to a higher standard than anybody else.
I understand.
You know people don't expect us to make mistakes, and they don't realize we're human. I understand that. You understand that.
I should have been smarter about it.
What? What is he just? Is he saying he's gonna help cover it up again? Like, what the fuck? Hold up. I don't get it. Like, Gary's no longer in the room, you know? Don't worry about it. I got you.
You work out a lot, don't you? You stay in shape. You're in good shape, right?
Try to.
You have 2 bags. Did you swap your stuff in between, right?
Yeah, I don't have the other one anymore.
So this would have been your only gym bag. So how would you not know the contents of the bag? If this was your gym bag, man.
Bro, I'm not crazy, right? Can someone explain to me? Bro, this is like an insanely stupid line of questioning. Like, I not only do I not understand how the like gym bag is like related to this, and I'm sure there's going to be a big reveal in the end, but I also don't understand why he's going so hard on the gym bag thing, where by being like, well, you know, if this was your gym bag, you would know what's in it, right? Like, it's like, what the fuck?
I have no excuse. Like you said, I should have thought about it and brought it up here.
That's like having 2 cars.
Yes, sir.
If you use 2 cars and you get in the other one and it's out of gas, do you not know it's out of gas?
You're right.
Because you use 2 cars, right?
Yes, sir.
If you were using this, being slap full, when I say it was slap full, I mean it was, I want to say, just a guesstimate, probably 30 or 40 articles of clothing in it. You would have known. I mean, it almost looked like when whoever packed this bag had packed this bag to move.
Yes, sir.
This is Matthew Boynton, January 9th, 2017. I was advised to complete a statement on a previous date by Lieutenant Yancey. Jessica Lester Boynton's property was already previously returned to her by my stepdad, Charles McDaniel Jr. Shortly after Jessica got out of
That's it? It's like they're just getting him on perjury because he lied about bringing everything back that belonged to Jessica. I'm losing it. There's no fucking way this guy actually...
this
what?
hospital. The dining room table, along with other items, were picked up by Kathy Zellner for Jessica. The remaining items, such as Hope Chess clothing and other miscellaneous items, returned to Jessica. I did not have any other items of Jessica's. This is Matthew Boynton. Is that your statement?
Yes, sir.
Who's that, Matthew?
That's Jessica's bag. Jessica's retainer.
You understand you didn't buy that.
I understand.
That does not make it community property.
I understand.
That makes it her property
Yes, sir.
that you're in possession of.
Yes, sir. I understand.
Bro, how the
Bag was
fuck did
turned
they let
into
him get
us.
away?
We have possession of the bag.
Yes, sir.
We have evidence that says it came out of your storage room. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything you'd like to say?
No, sir. I said I was just done with my part of script.
Do you believe that statement to be accurate and true?
Not now.
Did you believe it then?
No, sir.
Detective Hayes is in a position that's even worse than before. He now has to deal with Boynton as not only a suspect, but a suspect who is a uniformed officer, who is most likely guilty of a crime, who has unwaveringly lied to the police, and who is the grandson of the sheriff. Detective Hayes knows that regardless of the outcome now, his career has most likely been jeopardized. Matthew Boynton's actions have now seemingly directly affected Detective Hayes. Boynton admits for the first time the origins of the bag, that it came from his storage room.
Need water or something, Matthew? You sure?
Yes, sir.
I got some right here.
Thank you.
All right. I'll be right back.
While Detective Hayes is smoking a cigarette and pondering the predicament everyone is now in, Boynton begins to remove his gear, seemingly knowing that the end result would be his termination as a Griffin police officer.
Sorry, man. I go smoke a cigarette.
You're good.
I'm walking around outside. Why
Yeah.
would you say you didn't have the damn bag when you had it? You know you can't give a sworn statement and lie on it.
I know, Sarge.
Why would you do that, Matthew? It was a bag, man. It wasn't. It's not like it was. Talk to me, man. I mean, help me understand.
This is some hard-hitting police work. I feel safer. Yeah, I mean, look, there ain't no dirty bag stealers out there running in the streets, okay? Just like there ain't no top-of-the-hour ad watchers out here, okay? Because at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. Now, if you no longer want to see them ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free, okay? Chances are you've already subscribed for $5 or for free, or maybe you got gifted a sub. And therefore, now you are avoiding the top of the hour. But if you're not, you know, those are the methods to do so. All right. Here's the 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour now. Yusuf Ali, 24. Thank you for the 5 get the subs. Allowing 5 people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour either. Okay. That's right. Hoorah. Crap sack. Thank you for the 5.
Sarge, I swear, I know it's hard to believe, but I didn't think about that bag. Otherwise, I wouldn't have run. I said, hold on, LT. I got something. Let me go get it. I swear I wouldn't have done that because I've got 2 kids, 3 in 1. If I wouldn't jeopardize that over a bag, I'm telling you, Sarge, if I would have thought about it then, I would have said something.
But you knew you had the bag. Did you not know you had the bag?
I'm sorry. Mine's right. I fucked up. I know I didn't. I should have turned it in, but not only because I'm a cop, because I should.
Ed the reply guy. Thank you for the 5 get the subs. I should have returned it not only because I'm a cop, but because it was Jessica.
It was Jessica. Even if she let me use it.
It was the right thing to do, man.
I'm clear. Yes, sir.
Hayes returns confused and angry, with a whirlwind of thoughts and emotions. He demands to know why Boynton would lie about something so trivial like a bag. Why would Boynton make sworn statements about something so inconsequential in the grand scheme of things? Matthew tries to claim that it's all a misunderstanding. Of course it must be a misunderstanding, because why would he lie? He has children and another on the way. It would make no sense to lie. Later interviews with Boynton's girlfriend would reveal that she had pointed out the bag several times and that Boynton thought the entire situation was nothing more than a joke, even going so far as to make light about the shooting.
If I would have thought about it then, I wouldn't have messed up and been in this position because of my kids.
But why didn't you turn the bag in when you damn moved?
I don't know what
Because
I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking then.
Did you think you was going to get in trouble if you turned it in late?
I guess. I don't know what I was going through in my mind.
What do you think should happen now?
I know that's probably going to happen.
No, that's not what I asked you. So what do you think should happen?
I just... Where's my kids, man? My kids are fucking daddy's boys, man. If I would have thought about it, I would have done it.
Oh,
He's supposed to be like, I thought it was okay to do it when I'm on the job, man. I got too used to shooting people. It's fine, I thought. What the fuck?
all the stuff that you see about you, you know, if you were in possession of something that belonged to her, you know you could have brought it to me. You know I'm going to do the...
I literally don't understand why he's like so afraid, because at this stage it just feels like he lied about returning all of his possessions when he didn't. Okay, who cares? Like, I legitimately don't understand it. Maybe you guys are seeing something that I'm not seeing, but I don't know why the fuck this cop feels so scared.
The right thing, you know I have to do the right thing. I would have took care of it. I would have gotten the bag back to her. But when you knew you had the bag and you didn't do anything about it, man, you put me in a situation where I don't have any other choice.
I'm clear. I'm clear.
In between sobs, Boynton removes the rest of his gear, placing it on the table. He says that he's been afraid every day of coming into work and having something come to light. He whimpers, saying that this is going to have an effect on his children. Hayes says something which is reminiscent of the nepotism that we've discussed, that if he would have came to him with the bag and the information, he could have made it all go away, or at least framed it in a way to where it would go away. If Boynton would have taken some responsibility and tried to close that chapter, maybe, just maybe, Hayes could have helped him with a way out. But he didn't, and now Hayes and the rest of the department has been forced into a corner.
There's no excuse for it. Here. I know it's got that on there. I know. It's so hard, like, I love working here.
I know you do.
I asked you, I was so scared to come to work every day.
Why?
Because every time I did, it was always 11:79 or 10:22 to 42 come up here. I mean, it's always something. I don't know, maybe I thought if I brought it up here I was going to get fired and whatever, man. I don't know. I'm so young and stupid.
But Matthew, you know, doing the right thing regardless, it doesn't matter. If you do the right thing, you can live with yourself.
9 times out of 10, I do. I mean, that's the way I was raised.
But the one time I just happened to shoot my wife, like, what the fuck is going on? I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, he got caught. He got caught with the fucking bag. I don't know. The pack bag means it doesn't make sense that she would kill herself because she was planning to leave. I know, but there's still an out there. You know what I mean? I guess ultimately it doesn't matter because the victim is alive, right? She went through a coma, lost the custody of her children. But ultimately, that's it. That's what happened.
But you know that. You know that you have to do the right thing. And when you found, even if you found the bag, you should have said, hey LT, hey SAR, hey whoever, I got something, man. Stop for a minute and talk to me.
don't know what I was thinking then. I don't know if it's because I was scared. I mean, I told you, I come to work every day scared now. There's no excuse. I'm not trying to make one for myself.
Hey, LT,
I
shot my wife in the head.
Anymore. It's just like, only thing I can think about now is my kids, man. 'Cause my kids, daddy's boys. You know, the baby especially.
What?
I took him in like he's my own. And I'm not setting a good example right now.
Oh my God. Wait, what?
I always try to show my kids what's right.
But you know, when you swear an oath, we swear that we're
Is he
gonna
saying that?
uphold the law,
Yes, sir.
regardless. And you know you can't lie. You can't lie in an investigation. You know that.
I don't know what I was thinking. Like I said, I don't know if I was scared or what. I don't know what was going through my mind then.
I thought she cucked him, but I didn't realize she had a child from the cucking.
Does that make it right?
No, it doesn't. I know that. And I know this is everything I've ever worked for, like out the door. My main concern is my kids, man, because I've got primary custody over them, and this is gonna set me back if I get locked up for this. I'm gonna go down and see them every other weekend. She's not gonna take care of them like she's supposed to. Like, she's supposed to put them on her insurance. I had to do that.
But Matthew, if you did what you were supposed to do, we would not be here in this situation. You think I want to be here?
No, sir.
I would rather be anywhere else than be here.
Clear.
But if you had done what you were supposed to do, we would not even have to be having this conversation. You wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yes, sir.
But you know that we have to do the right thing. We have to do what people pay us to do. You know that. You know that, especially with me and Lieutenant Yancey. You've known us a long time.
Yeah. I don't want to lose the primary custody of my kids. Like, I know, I mean, no matter where I go now, I'm not really going to get a good job now, but like, the main focus is my kids, man.
Life is not over with. Everything happens for a reason. Just hang tight, okay?
Even in Matthew's final moments as a Griffin police officer, he's given freedoms that no other suspect would. Handling his gear, checking his phone. Even though Boynton has accepted that his career with the department is effectively over, the preferential treatment he received and still receives is glaring. Matthew Boynton would walk free on the attempted murder of Jessica Boynton due to the mishandling of the case by the Griffin Police Department, and the seemingly trivial win over getting her belongings back and Matthew destroying his career would be all that Jessica would get. After Jessica's recovery, she lost custody of her children. Any evidence supporting the idea that she was a victim.
I'm sorry, what the fuck happened? So after all that, he didn't wait. Wait. Jessica Boynton. Wait, what? Hold on. What? There's a New Yorker article on this. Wait, what? Bro, okay. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna fucking say it, dude. All right? This is why motherfuckers literally thought Tory Lanez was going to get away with it. That's it. Matthew Boynton went to have dinner with a colleague at a Waffle House. He received a text from his wife. Jessica said, "I can't do this anymore. Take care of the children. Please tell them I love them every day. I've been suffering for a while now and no one has noticed. I have not been able to recognize the person I see in the mirror. This is not the first time I had suicidal thoughts. I love you and the boys." Matthew called EMS and asked them to go to the house because he was afraid of what Jessica may have done to herself or their children. When Matthew got back to the apartment, he said he heard 2 gunshots as he approached. He quickly ran to the bedroom where his son typically slept, and when he didn't see him there, he ran back outside, saying he wasn't sure if it was an active shooter scenario. When the police showed up, the older son was asleep in his bedroom and the baby was in his crib. The officers found Jessica in her bedroom closet. She'd suffered a gunshot wound to the head with Matthew's service weapon. 2 shots. When the police called Jessica's grandparents, who raised her, to inform them that Jessica had committed suicide, they couldn't believe it. It didn't make sense. They said whenever they go to the gun range, Jessica would sit out, saying she never wanted to do anything with guns. Jessica's sister showed up and asked Matthew if he'd killed her. He insisted he had not, that Jessica shot herself. There's just one problem. Megan Browning and her husband, their neighbors, said they heard shots at 11 p.m., not 1 a.m., when Matthew reported the crime. Another couple who lived nearby also told the police they heard shots around 11 p.m. Megan Browning, who was actually friends with Jessica, wanted to tell the police more about what she knew, but they interviewed for 8 minutes, left, and never returned. That's interesting. Jessica had no gunpowder on her hands. Her gunshot wound was at the top of her skull. How would she be able to position the gun to shoot herself from that angle? And one indentation on the closet wall showed at least one bullet had been fired from an upward angle. When they went through Matthew's phone, it showed that after receiving Jessica's suicidal text, he'd actually responded to a text from his mistress, Courtney, before calling the police. Matthew responded to a joke from Courtney Calloway. Haha, I'm sorry, didn't think about that, lol, he wrote. Then he called the MS. Can you please dispatch a unit out to my location, he said calmly, in reference to my wife. There wasn't enough evidence to prove suicide, but also not enough to prove Matthew killed her. But in a twist of fate, despite the gruesome injuries Jessica suffered, it turns out she did not die. The doctors put her in a medically induced coma and waited for her to wake up. Everyone was waiting with bated breath for Jessica to regain consciousness to confirm whether she'd attempted suicide or her husband Matthew actually shot her. A Georgia Bureau of Investigation summary of an interview with Jessica's neurosurgeon noted that he called the circumstances of her injury suspicious, but the agent who conducted the interview failed to record the conversation, saying he hadn't charged his audio recorder. King, her neurosurgeon, said, "You'd think that it would have been simple enough to put bags on her hands and test them for gunshot residue. I was wondering why, but then it came to pass that her husband was a police officer and her granddaddy was the sheriff, so I understood." 3 weeks after being put in a coma, Jessica finally woke up. Turns out cops only good at mag dumping people, not very good at shooting someone and then making it seem like it's suicide. You know what I mean? That's the only thing they're good at, bro. Stormtrooper aim, motherfucker. Couldn't even shoot and kill his wife by shooting her in the fucking head. Can you believe it? Anyway. Woo! Goddamn. She could not tell the police definitively how she had been shot or who did it. She thought she'd been in a car accident because she didn't remember anything about the shooting. The GBI agents asked if she had ever handled Matthew's gun. "No, I can't even get it out of the case," she said. She wasn't sure how to unlock the safety lever on the holster. "Have you ever had any thoughts about hurting yourself?" "No, never," she said. Her surgeon wrote that she was a very positive person who's embracing the opportunity that a new lease on life afforded her by her recent recovery. She has a sense of humor and a gentle personality. She speaks lovingly of her children and the need and desire to see them. A psychiatrist who assessed her for depression apparently saw no need to give her a diagnosis or refer her for treatment. A second psychiatrist thought she had an appropriate mood and affect, appropriate judgment and insight. Get this, when she finally recovered enough to leave the hospital, Jessica could not come within 300 yards of her children. Matthew had filed a protective order because family violence occurred in the past and they may recur in the future. Dude, this is one of the worst stories I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, it's like, not many things give you an accurate and very clear picture of pure evil, but this one is one of those instances. By the way, a parallel can be seen within this story and Tory Lanez as well, because it's not just that this motherfucker was a cop and his granddaddy was a sheriff. That certainly played a big role, but also that exact same misogynistic attitude, 1,000,000% abso-fucking-lutely diminished her already low standing, I guess. It made the courts believe that she was suicidal because it doesn't matter. Regardless of what the psychiatrist said, regardless of what the medical professionals said about her, they were like, oh, she must have been suicidal. When the protective order expired, he petitioned to have it extended for another year. Holy fuck, I can't believe they doubled down on it, citing Jessica's grandparents not believing she shot herself. So he didn't think they were of sound mind to take care of the children. When Jessica's lawyers pointed out that the emergency room doctors disagree with the manner, Matthew responded by saying, I only care about the GBI report. Jessica's friend, Megan Browning, the one who heard the shots happening hours before Matthew claimed they did, wanted to testify at the hearing. She wanted to bear witness to the abuse she said Jessica had suffered, but she wanted to speak to the judge privately in chambers because she was afraid Matthew and the repercussions from his law enforcement buddies. The judge refused, so no witnesses testified in the hearing. In September 2016, the GBI closed its case, concluding that Jessica's wounds were self-inflicted. Her DNA had been found on the gun, which was to be expected. She had been lying on it. Neither Matthew nor Jessica had been given a gunpowder residue test. She was lying on the gun. That's why her DNA was on the gun. Do you understand? But they didn't do a GSR. They deferred to the medical examiner who spent 1 hour on the case and never examined Jessica. He concluded that Jessica had shot herself, though he indicated that his assessment would have been more definitive had there been a photo of Jessica's wound before she had surgery. But Jessica's Aunt Kathy had in fact taken a picture of Jessica's bruise on her skull in the hospital. She gave it to the agents. Somehow, the photo never ended up on the GBI report. Bro, 2 shots, man. That's it. What do you mean? They interviewed 8 police officers, some of whom were Matthew's good friends. One told the agents that Matthew was telling me how she kind of acts crazy sometimes when she don't get her way. The GBI did not interview any of Jessica's family or friends. They didn't even look at the victims. Matthew was never charged in connection with Jessica's shooting. He was only later charged with lying to police about returning Jessica's belongings when an ex-girlfriend came forward and said that she knew he still had a bag of her stuff. Matthew's case was presented to a grand jury in July 2018. Under Georgia law, police officers, unlike civilians, have a right to make a prepared statement at the end of a grand jury hearing. There is no public record of the proceeding. Dude, the entire fucking state is awful. But the grand jury chose not to indict Matthew either for making false statements or for violating his oath. 4 months later, he was hired as a reserve officer in Braswell, Georgia, a community of 400 people. Wow. That is insane, dude. Holy fuck. That is mind-numbingly crazy. Pure evil, just all the dick in the balls, dude. Everything right there. Laid bare for you to fucking see. Oh my fucking Lord, dude.
The victim was either dismissed or not allowed to be heard. Nepotism, yet again, is the most likely reason behind the truly unjust outcome that Jessica faced. It is almost guaranteed that this was a result of the close ties between Matthew's grandfather, the county.
Yeah, fuck this shit. I cannot. Small town hired him to kill their wives too. Dude, this guy's still a cop, bro. I feel like there's more to this story that is like interesting, or rather than just nepotism. What's crazy about that story, okay? What's crazy about that fucking story is the fact that the fact that he saw no repercussions and motherfuckers were more upset about like the stolen items than what that stolen item, like the stolen item is nothing. He shot his fucking wife. Bro, nice bathroom. You missed it. We watched his RDC video already. Stop spamming it. It almost feels like the cops were more upset that he just like got. You know what I mean?
With a heavy heart that I bring you all some sad news about Joe Rogan.
He got after all their attempts to fucking cover his ass. Like literally that conversation, I see that conversation in an entirely different light. Now that I know everything I know about this case, what do I mean by this? Okay, before we get to the Charlie thing. What do I mean by that? That motherfucker literally was like, why did you not give us everything, you fucking idiot? We already were covering you. We already had covered you, and now we have to fire you, you fucking dumbass. That's what that cop was saying. Literally. That cop wasn't saying like, oh man, I'm so disappointed in you for lying to the police about not giving back everything of your wife. No. He literally was just like, why didn't you dispose of the fucking bag? Or why didn't you just give it to us? We would have still defended you, you fucking dingus. Verbatim. Fuck that other cop. I would investigate that other fucking cop. He literally said, you should have been smarter about, you know, covering your fucking footsteps. That's crazy. Oh, the mustache looks incredible. Good job. Thank you. Thank you for appreciating it. It's for you guys. It's all for you. But a bingus? That's funny. That triggered me. Holy shit. All right, let's watch this.
I get no pleasure in talking about this, but I think it's important to address. Joe Rogan has done something remarkably silly, if you can believe that. He made a bit of a boo-boo, a mistake, a very public mistake, and one that I am personally involved in. Now, I'll go ahead and be upfront and honest out the gate here, because honesty is the best policy.